Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're back on the 1968 Mustang GT 394 speed. We're gonna pull the engine on this car and the transmission and see what kind of condition it's in. So let's get started. What I'm hoping and dreaming is that this engine will be good. It was rebuilt before the owner bought it years and years ago. He didn't put that many miles on it, so I'm hoping that's okay. He did mention that it was smoking, I think he said, out of the left bank. So we're going to take a look at all that and see if I can see anything noticeable. You know, inside looks super clean. But what I'm going to do is pull it out. I want to get it on the stand and do a leak down check. Just basically kind of go over everything, see if it spins nice and free, but I want to make sure that the cylinders are actually sealing properly. So I think a leak down check's the best way to do it. Then pull the valve covers. I think basically if that all looks good, I'm going to try to just kind of get the thing together, prime the oil system, and then I'll put it on my run stand if everything looks good, and I want to try to fire it up as it is. If it fires up and it runs good without any issues, I'll take a look with the valve seals. I think maybe sometimes, I don't know what kind of valve seal it is. I'll have to look a little closer. Sometimes they lift off the guide, allow a little oil to seep through. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if the valve guides are all good, obviously I can't really check them, but if I see something crazy like a valve seal is bad, then obviously I know, okay, that's where the oil smoke was coming from. If I can't see anything that's obvious, well, then I'm going to have to dig a little deeper. And that's pretty much going to be the story of how this engine's going to go. Step by step, just kind of do a analysis of the engine and see what kind of condition that it's in and pray that I can fire it up as it is. I'm sure that would make the owner happy. I think it can be done, but we'll see. Well, that was easy enough. I don't see anything else that's really in my way from pulling this thing up. I'm sure there's some wires still hooked up. I'll find those. I think there's a body ground in the back going to the firewall, the back of the head. The Z-bar, I'll probably just lift the engine out and let the Z-bar, it's kind of in there. Shouldn't have any issues, I hope. Okay, the engine is out. A little bit of a struggle with a cotter pin on the Z-bar, which I didn't think was a problem. because normally it'll just fall right out of there. There's nothing holding it in, but that is bent. So we'll get a new rod for the throw out arm, no big deal. But she's out. Now to strip it down and to get it up on the stand and see what I have to work with. Hopefully it's good. Here is my Ford tech tip of the day. On these Mustangs, they have a cross member. It goes from the frame rail to frame rail and helps tie everything together, keeps the chassis a little stiffer underneath. I saved one, and over the years, you can use to hold up the transmission just like that. Kind of the perfect fit in there. And that is your Ford tech tip of the day. The engine's on the stand, got the plugs out, pulled the valve covers off, clutch off, nothing out of the ordinary other than a mouse nest lodged up in the bell housing, but that's to be expected for something as sad as long as it did. Everything looks pretty clean in there. I'm going to do the leak down check to see how the cylinders are. I don't have a borescope to look down in each individual cylinder, so I'll just do my best to look down in there with a light and see if I can't see anything. But I originally had thought this thing had Cobra Jet heads on it, but nope, these are the original heads on the engine. When I made that assumption, I was in my 20s. Didn't know much. I still don't know much, but I know a little more than what I did then, so obviously I was confused. But no, this engine's all original, all complete, and all correct for this car. Right now, the pressure in the cylinder, it's the number 5 hole, is at 75 from the compressor, and we're at 45 on the cylinder pressure. Not sure if you can hear that or not, but you can hear air leaking down through somewhere, whether it's through the valve or through the rings. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, I can hear by putting my ear right at the distributor hole that the air is leaking down past the rings. That's not good. With number 5 cylinder and number 6 cylinder having a leak down averaging about 40%, we've got a serious problem in the engine. What's going to need to happen is it's going to have to come apart. Can take a look and see how the cylinder walls look. Maybe the rings are stuck from sitting. I'll have to pull it apart, check it, and kind of go from there. This is all part of the process. I was hoping it was going to be easier, hoping the leak down was going to be pretty good, at least to an acceptable level, but that's just not the case. So we've got to dig into it deeper. I don't see anything bad in the cylinder walls. Nothing terrible. Some junk down in there and down in that one. I have a feeling the rings are probably stuck. I'll have to dig deeper. Nothing horrific on the valves. Again, I heard the leakage coming down through the cylinder walls into the distributor hole. So, feeling it's all in the rings. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my hopes and dreams are dashed. She's a goner. Bearings are showing copper. Cylinder walls definitely have a glaze. And from what I could see, they got a pretty good taper. Crank's going to need to be cut. The camshaft, the lifters, I found about 8 worn ones. 3 really bad, the rest were bad enough. So she gets a full rebuild, unfortunately. Darn it, thought I could save this one, but some I guess you can't save. Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Give me that thumbs up. Thank you.